Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is our another important chapter related with the sales personnel planning and recruiting for the course of sales management. Sales personnel, as the name indicate, that we are talking about the sales people and how can we recruit them and how the sales manager can plan up these all activity. Uh, Before going for the recruitment process, every manager or every branch manager is going for the planning as well. Are there, you can say that their group managers are there, regional managers are there, area manager asks for a particular number of people from from whom they can particularly work and from whom they can particularly take the resources for the sales target specifically. So for achieving a sales target, every sales manager and every group manager or every area territory manager has some certain kind of plannings to achieve that sales target. For example, for instance, if I can say you are, and I already we discussed on during the classes timing that if you have a target of 1 billion, so for achieving that 1 billion target, you need a particular number of sales personnel as well to achieve that particular target. So this is one of the major instance, this is one of the major issue that's why managers are all the time is planning for their personnel's needs, and they are working for their sales needs, and then as well as going for the recruitment process, and then they're recruiting the sales candidates and screening and selecting the applicants and all that kind of the stuff. And the personnel needs, sales personnel needs is to analyze that how many number of people you needed it, how many number of people you needed it in a particular territory. Like if you are running a business in Peshawar, so if you have a branch in the Peshawar, so for that Peshawar, how many number of people you needed? Particularly in Peshawar, you need more people than as comparatively to the, let's suppose you can say that in the rural areas like Charsada and like Chitral. So for that, maybe for Chitral, you need only 4 people or 5 people or 6 people, but in Peshawar you need 30 people or 20 people, because of the reason is that here the demand of the product are here, the demographics are more inclined towards the selling process, are their needs are more generally more in the demand. So this is basically the difference, and this is basically the one of the area, this is one of the key factors that you can highlight these elements. And then and then moving further, uh, two important activities that determining the number of salespeople required, identifying the type of personnel desired, realistic understanding of both needs enables management to develop recruitment selection, optimum use of company's existing sales force, human resource, need of the future. These are all the things that you can work on that elements, and then you can process through the all of the aspects. uh, the first thing is that you need to identify here, I am pointing out the point is that optimum use of company's existing sales force. Before going for the any sales personnel process are planning, are you moving for the further more uh, recruitment process, you need to check that your current existing sales force, and you need to utilize that existing sales force without gaining or without utilizing more of the recruitment process and more of the selection process. Because most of the time, if when I'm working as a in the EFU, and as I'm working as this the position for this selection and the recruitment and this all that kind of the activities. So I observed that there is more, not more of the need of the new people. Already you have an existing sales force, but the thing is that you need to focus on that existing sales force. This is very important that you need to work on that existing sales force. because at sometimes you are more focusing on a new people, and for the induction process you are going for the new peoples, and but this existing peoples in this existing sales force is being ignored. And because of this ignorance, they ultimately leave your organization, or they are not adding so much to the organization, they are not giving you the ultimate results as required, and they being ignored as well, you can say that. So this is not the quality of a good manager, that they are going for all the time going for the recruitment and all the time going for a selection process, and every month they are going for a new person, and every single month they are focusing that we have to induct 2 people, or we have to induct 3 people, or at sometimes we need to induct 4 people. But this is not workable. This at sometimes this is not workable. So for this instance, for this reason, here we are talking about that the optimum use of a company's existing sales force. So you have to need to realize these things as well. Then the other things are very simple, that identifying the type of personnel required or desired. Sometimes you need a beginners for your sales territory. Sometimes you need a middle manager. Sometimes you need a advanced manager or advanced category people. For example, you can say that you need a senior branch manager. For example, you need an area manager. For example, you need a territory manager. For example, you need a zonal manager. So this is basically the need, what kind of the people you required at a particular period of time. Human resource is the need of the future. It's very obvious, you people are already know about that. Human resource is one of the key factor, is one of the key element. And not only, if you read out, or if you're going through with this 21st century dynamics, or read the literature on the human resource, so you will understand that human resource is the key factor. Human resource is the key factor for understanding, for developing the structure, for developing the growth of the organization. Or you can say that without utilizing the human resource, and why without capitalize the human resource, organization cannot be a successful in the 21st century. So human resource is very obvious, and we can talk about so many things on this human resource, but I need to focus on this, my recruitment and selection portion. If you have any question related with the human resource, you can ask from me, so we can discuss more further on this area. Then recruiting involves identifying potential salespeople and attracting them to company. This is also another task, that you have to identifying a sales people and attracting them to your company. Attracting them to the company is one of the requirement, one of the element related with the organization. It's not related with the manager specifically. This is more related with the overall organization structure. The what kind of the thing that attract to the people is basically their system, is basically their structure. That structure and system attract the salespeople to come up to that organization. So it's not specifically related to the branch manager. It's basically the whole organizational process, or you do whole organizational systems that can work on this thing. A screening is then the negative process of eliminating unqualified and undesirable applicants are weeded out until only qualified candidates remain. So, uh, so in this screening process, ultimately we are going for this weeded out that shortlisting. The weeded out means that we are going with the shortlisting process until we cannot find out the qualified candidate. With this process, we can furtherly move on to further screening, and we furtherly, in some of the cases where we cannot find out the good candidate, the suitable candidate for the our job, we are more still going for the recruitment process and for the advertisement as well. Then selection is basically the positive process of choosing from among a group of qualified as sales applicant. Selection is a positive process when we are going for the group of the qualified people. And then analyzing sales personnel needs. Availability of sales personnel fluctuates somewhat with economic conditions. Careful planning can help avoid hiring more salespeople than needed, or hiring the wrong kind of personnel. Timing is also important in the staffing process. Timing is also very important thing. You people need to think about that, how and why this timing is important, and give me your answer and on this specific point through my email id and through my email address, that you, this is your minor assignment, that why this timing is important factor in the staffing process. As you know that my email id is ZUNNOORAIN at qsit.edu.pk. qsit, CUSIT.edu.pk. So you can send it me on this, the feedback related with the timing factor, why this timing is important, and what is the relationship between timing and the staffing process. Careful planning is very much clear to you people, that the careful planning is the important element that can help you, that can provide you a very sufficient information related with the hiring salespeople. Economic conditions. Sales personnel fluctuates with someone economic conditions. Obviously, if your country is growing, if your country economic conditions are growing, it means that the demand for a specific products or the purchasing patterns might be changed. So if the demand is increasing, then it means that you need more sales staff. And if the demand is decreasing, or if there is any kind of the issues in the country, so that might be the reason that your sales is decreasing and you don't need any more sales personnel. Same is the case if you observing from the last 1 year, or from this current year, that 2020, from the beginning to the end, or till now, that you observe that the economic conditions are affecting, and that's why the due to the economic conditions, due to the bad economic conditions, or due to this pandemic conditions, there are a lot of jobs uh, going for this downsizing, and then they forcefully terminate their peoples, and forcefully they lay off the people due to their economic conditions, and they don't need sales personnel. There is a lot of international companies and international brands, though they cannot manage it, and due to these not managing their expenses, they lay off their employees, and they ultimately faces this economic condition, and due to these factors they don't need any kind of the sales personnel for a job. So this is how you can say that this fluctuates somewhat with the economic conditions. Then forecast the company's needs for salespeople well in advance of the time they will be required. You need to go for the forecasting. This forecasting and timing is almost the same thing. That, but I can explain it. The forecast is mean that, as earlier I explained you in my lecture, that the forecasting is mean that you need to achieve a target. Let's suppose in a 2021 of around 1 billion, $1 billion, let's suppose. You can say that 1 billion, what you can say that 1 million, let's suppose. So for that you need a forecasting, that how many number of people you required to achieve that target. So for basically the thing is, the more advanced, the more important thing is that first you need to plan up the thing. First you need to work on that, that the how many number of people you require to achieve that target, for which I am talking about, that the 1 billion or 1 million or whatsoever that target is. So that needs to fulfill it, that needs to be achieve it. Same as the things, this is also related, that forecasting of the company's need is also somewhat is related with the vision of the company as well. Where you want to go, where you want to see yourself in the next 5 years, where you want to achieve, or what kind of the basic sales target, or what kind of the basics organizational objectives that you want to achieve. Then this when you're talking about vision, then it's related with the mission as well, that the short-term missions and the long-term missions, and then you can relate with these things, and then you achieve it with your goals, specific goals. These goals basically also work with the forecasting process, and you can forecast the things. Convince young people means that you go for the young people. You need more energetic people, you need more energy oriented people, so they can manage it, the things. Sales career presents attractive opportunities. Sales career presents attractive opportunities. For the thing is that they are offering the perks, such kind of the perks related with the cars, motorbike, and others incentives related with the office space. You can say that you have a particular space for your appointment and for your other kind of the activities. Salaries, good handsome salaries, offerings a good handsome salary. These are all the things that is basically related with the sales careers, attractive opportunities. Other attractive opportunities is related with the foreign trips. You can say that international conferences. You can say that the national conferences within the Pakistan. You can say that these are the attractive opportunities. Then you can say that the promotion, and then the territory related responsibilities, that you are joining the organization as a sales officer, but after 10 years you might be the branch manager, or you might be the senior branch manager. In some of the organization, I observe it, and during my career of with the EFU, I observed that uh, there are so many people. There are so many people who achieved the opportunities, and who achieved the biggest milestone within the 4 years, or within the span of 5 years. Other might achieve the same time period, or might achieve the same promotion and other benefits and fringe benefits and perks in 10 years, are some of the managers even not achieve in the 15 years. But there are the good people, are good. You can say that by good I mean that they are good in the communication, they are hard worker, they are focusing on their career, they are stuck to their objectives, they are stuck to their goals, so they can achieve it in a very small period of time. It's depend on the people. Sales is totally depend on your own passion, and this totally depend on your own commitment with the organization and with your own self as well. Sales management greatest challenge is to convince qualified candidates, is also a very obvious thing. The convince qualified candidates is that uh, you can say that okay, you need to work on these of the areas, you need to work on these of the, that how can you convince them, and how can you talk to your you the prospects. You can say that uh, uh, as you remember it, during classes I told you that the only thing that can help the sales manager is honesty. To be very honest, in the sales profession, in the sales management, as far as my experience is concerned, and as far as my knowledge is concerned, the biggest thing is for the qualification is the honesty. If you are if you can say that the such kind of the benefits, or such kind of the things you are highlighting in your presentations, or during your presentations to the candidate or potential candidates, which is not related with the specific product. Specific product means it is not related with the description of the product. You can say that which is not related with the ingredients of the products, which is not the basic benefit of the product. So the person can buy it from you at once, but at a larger time period, or at, you can say that that person will never come to your shop again. So this is a short term period investment which cannot work for a larger period of time. The managers in a sales manager profession, managers faces a lot of issue related with this you can say that with the continuity of the business, with the continuity of the aspects related with that. The person is coming again and again. This reselling is very important. If you relate a very positive relationship at the beginning of the time, and you develop a relationship on based on the honesty and the quality of the products you are selling to the prospects, so that persons will always comes to you, and that person will always buy from you. So this is very important thing as well. As so these two are the very important thing. And so my experience is that go for the salespeople, go for the candidates, sorry, go for the potential candidates, and only thing is that remain is that you can tell them whatever your product described you, not go for some of the aspects which is you can say that which is not in your product and you are saying to your prospects. At that time your product will be sold, but you need a very you will get a very negative feedback from prospects and from the customers as well. So this is not good for a future period of time. For a smaller period of time it will be worked, but for a longer period of time it will never be worked, and it will create, even it will create more problems for you. Quantitative requirements is a critical question for sales and marketing managers. Is the size of sales force a company needs. Traditionally, scant attention has been paid to this matter. Field sales forces are often expanded or contradicted with minimal evaluation on part of the sales management. So quantitative requirement is that the critical is marketing managers to find out the size of the sales force a company needs, and at all kind of the activities and are called of the sales force, and this activity that you need to be work on it, and you need to be focused on these all of the activities. uh, Sales force size is crucial to companies in two ways. It establishes the total level of selling effort available to the sales organization. It is a prime determinant of sales uh, organization structure. Smaller firms, for example, are often grossly understaffed, and some large firms are overstaffed. This is also the another one of the problem, that some of the smaller firms are understaffed. They need, let's suppose, 6 people, but currently there are only 3 workers are appointed, and some of the large firms only need, let's suppose, 30 people, but they overstaffed with 60 people. So this is the kind of the dilemma, this is the kind of the issue. So you need to work on these kind of the planning. Salesforce size and the company's needs establish the 2 levels of selling effort available to the sales organization. The prime determinant of the sales organization structure, you need to work on it, you need to focus on these things, you need to elaborate these of the issues. So all of the aspects is need a very sensitive understanding, and you need to work on these all of the aspects. If you have any questions, you can ask from me so I can discuss you or explain you in a more appropriate manner. Margin and analysis is the another determining sales force size approach that compares the cost of the last salesperson hired to the profit that will be obtained from the individual to determine the optimum size for a company's sales force size. This is basically, you can see the formula. This S is a sales volume that each additional salesperson is expected to produce. P is the profit margin. S and P is will be the product. Product means that they are multiplying with each other, and then you minus with the cost of maintaining the salesperson in the field. So the cost of the maintaining that, the cost is using on a one particular person, how much the cost is required to manage that salesperson, the profit margin and the sales volume associated with that salesperson. Additionally, you're seeing it here that additional salesperson is expected to produce. If you need more people, that you have to see it that by adding more people, how much you get with the profit margin, how much you can get. But if you remember it, in a previous slides I told you that it's not the matter that you need more and more and more people, and you think that by adding more people you go for a solution, you go for that good thing. But at some of the cases there are so many good people in your organization who stop producing, who stop selling, whatsoever that reason is. The manager is the good manager is to find out the reasons why that good salesperson or good sales personnel is not producing much for the organization. So at sometimes your existing sales force are more competent than the new sales force. So you need to focus on these things, and you need to determine that the cost associated, the cost, you can say that you are investing on the, and the car investments are, you can say that you are investing on the billing related with the telephonic billings and others, incentives and other element related with the aspects are related with the issues as well. Sorry. Then predicting sales personnel needed. Any forecast of sales personnel needs must rest upon a factual base. Trend analysis is a technique that can be used to predict sales personnel needs. Projection of historical data into the future, that you need to see the trend analysis and you need to work on this trend fact. Then you are going for the trend analysis, that previously what kind of the people you needed, and now how many number of people are you are needed in this years, and you compare it then between your previous year and the current years, and as well as you see the trend analysis, which can give you a very good figure out in terms of the analysis. Sales personnel, how many sales people will be available within the firm? Starting point for this task is a comprehensive inventory of current sales personnel. A person by person approach is recommended, in which abilities, promotability, and retirement status of each person are determined. You need to go with these factors. Qualitative is used in sales personnel planning is the job analysis. Environmental factors, competition salespeople will encounter, general business conditions, business and social framework within which salespeople will have to sell. So you need to go through with these, as I told you that for Peshawar you need more people, and for rural areas you need less people, you need a smaller number of people. So this is the kind of the environmental factors, and as well the other elements related. The qualitative requirement used in sales personnel planning is related with the determining the person's requirement or person for the job, or job analysis refers to the formal study of jobs to define specific roles or activities to be performed in sales promotions. The three steps are related with examine the total sales force size and each job, and determine how each job relates to the other jobs. Select the jobs to be analyzed. Collect the necessary information through observation of what people actually do in the jobs, interviews of people in the jobs, and questionnaires completed by job holders. So examining the total sales force size and each jobs, and determine how each jobs relates to the other jobs. You can find out the jobs to be analyzed. Collect the necessary informations by observation of people actually doing the jobs. You can go for you people know about it, because you are already studied the course of human resource management, and in the human resource management we have a very comprehensive discussion on this job analysis. So your instructor already, I hope your instructor has already discussed these kind of things. So I don't think so to go for this. That why or how can you find out this unnecessary information and the other observations of the peoples, and actually do in the jobs and interviews of the people in the jobs. So you can go with these kind of things. Then, job description is the statement of the specific functions a salesperson must perform. This is one of the job description of the sales people. Position sales representative reports to the district manager. You are seeing that the organizational unit, replacement parts, date, when job was described, nature of job, responsible for developing a new accounts and reaching profitable sales goals in assigned territory. Principal responsibilities are already described, dimensions is already described, then the supervision received, and then the supervision exercised, and all that kind of the stuff is on the chart of that particular person that is related with the sales representative. He is reporting to the district manager. When I'm working, I'm reporting directly to the branch manager. So this is how you can say that. Currently, as I am in the academician and I'm working as an academician, sorry. So I am reporting to the head of department. So this is how the different you are reporting to the different managers, and different areas are reporting to the different different positions reporting to a different uh, responsibilities are a different managers. You can say that every area, every organization has a different designation. In Pakistan, I don't think so there is any kind of but it's very there are mostly they are using out the kind of the job the designation related with the area manager, related with the territory manager, related with the zonal manager in some of the areas in the Pakistan as well. So these are the some of the explanation related with it. So these are the some of the points, and then you going for the job qualification characteristics or traits one looks for when you recruiting or hiring sales candidates. Profiling, a benchmark technique used to evaluate sales candidates. Then benchmark profiling, a benchmark is that you can need a set some benchmark for the evaluation. A benchmark that what kind of person you needed, what kind of the qualities that you needed for that sales candidate, you need to set some benchmark. Then uh, these are some of the points, so we will discuss in our the second let's this is only two slides are left, so we can complete it and we can conclude it. Success in a company may include the following: intelligence, prospecting ability, ability to create a follow-up system, ability to influence people's decisions and opinions, ability to cultivate long-term client relationships, ability to negotiate contracts and prices. These are all the sum of the profitable and prospect qualities on successful candidates. Then sales recruiting guidelines: plan and coordinate sales recruiting. Sales managers thinks about recruiting only when a vacancy occurs, which mostly leads to poor selection decisions known as crisis hiring. If you are going for sales managers, think about recruiting when a vacancy occurs or vacancy is available. So that time your gap will be created. Why they are talking about a poor selection? The only thing is that the gaps create, and these gaps can decrease your overall performance or the decrease the performance of the sales manager. So that's why we are talking about this is a poor selection. So you have, in a sales profession, you have the extra one person in your office, in your branch, in your any kind of the area that you can say that you can lead it from the front, and you can work on this very effectively. So it's all the responsibility of the sales management. So go through with this chapter. I'm ending from this from my this part. You need to go with the all slides, and you need to read out the my whole or listen out the my whole hopefully you can listen out it. And one thing I can tell you, in the mid of the sum of my portion of this lecture, I also give you a minor assignment, so you have to need it to read out to listen out where I can give the minor assignment and what kind of that minor assignment is. And I also tell you that how can you submit it to me. So go through with it. Thank you very much. Have good time and have good holidays as well as and happy and enjoy your time.